Hi, you're listening to an English voiceover of an originally Dutch series on tambour beading. And this is the fourth video in the series, and we're going to show you how to mount fabric to the embroidery frame. And we're using the frame that's especially designed for Luneville embroidery, and with this frame you can mount the fabric very tight, and that's important for this technique. We're using silk organza. We're using organza because it's transparent, and you'll be working on the bottom side and the top side of the fabric, and it's nice to see what you're doing on the other side, and that works with this fabric because it's transparent. We're using silk because it's very strong. You're putting your hook through the fabric in and out, and the silk won't break. You may get a little hole, but you can remove it with your fingernail. It's very easy. What's also very, very important is that the fabric is straight of grain. So we don't cut with the scissors, but we rip the fabric, make a little cut with the scissors, and then rip the rest. And then you're sure it's straight of grain. We are sewing the fabric down with normal needle and thread. This is a sewing machine thread I'm using, and a rather long needle. And we can sew the fabric down on the twill tape that's attached to the embroidery frame. The twill tape is nailed down to the frame, and it's straight. And in the twill tape there's a little twill, of course, and that gives a little line, and that line is very handy to follow when you're sewing the fabric down. So you can see the frame here, and it's detached. The side slats are not there. And in the lesson I was taught to sew the fabric down like this. And I don't really like it because when you need to hold down the fabric, you have to curl it up in order to be able to hold it down at all. And it's also not very easy to line the fabric up straight to the twill tape. Also because you have to curl up the fabric in order to be able to hold it. So yeah, there you see it's not straight anymore. And sewing the fabric down straight is just very important with this technique, because we'll be tightening the fabric very tight, like a drum almost, and when it's not straight, your design will not become straight, and it will deform your design. So we put the fabric down like this, and we can line it up nicely, and it's very easy to hold down. And we're pinning it down with a few pins, just 3 or 4, because it's just all straight and nothing is happening. So, and then there's the thread and needle, and we'll just sew it down using a running stitch. And the first stitch is going to be a little extra stitch, and as I said, we're going to run with the little twill line to make sure it's straight. It's hard to see in this video, but you can see it when we're doing it. So first stitch is just an extra stitch. There's a little knot in the thread, but that won't need to be necessary. And then follow the twill line and the normal running stitch with a centimeter per stitch. And we'll end the sewing down with just another extra stitch. To sew down the other side, what we have to double check is that the frame is aligned straight. So as I said, if it's not straight, your your design will be deformed. So what we do is we put the twill tape together on both sides of the frame, so it's easy to see that it's lined out and that the fabric is lined out. First we line out the frame, and then we pin the fabric down, and also the both sides of the fabric are aligned like this. Make sure it's aligned well, and then of course we need to align it with the twill tape also. So we triple check this always, because this is really important to get your design right. And then we can pin the other side of the fabric down, like we did before. And again we can use the little twill line to make a straight line. And it's also important to make your running stitch straight, follow the twill line. If one stitch is pointing out, then it will deform your fabric and also deform your design. So we're sewing this down again the same way we did the first side, with an extra stitch to start and an extra stitch to stop, to end, and then a 1 centimeter running stitch to sew it down.
Okay, en nu gaan we het raam
So this is all sewn down, and we can attach the frame together, and we turn sluts like this, and we're turning it an extra time, and you can see the fabric is folding like this around the twill tape and the frame, and it gives some extra strength. You can also turn the slats a few extra times if you want a smaller embroidery. And then we attach the other parts of the frame, and it's important to use the same hole on both sides of the frame. And it doesn't really matter which hole you use, the outside of or the inside, as long as you're using the same hole for both the bottom and the top side of the frame. And on the other side we do the same thing, and again make sure you're using the same hole. It doesn't have to be same as on the right side, but bottom and top has to be the same. And then we tighten the frame, and we tighten it first a little bit and not too strong yet, and then tighten it a second time, and the second time we can pull a little bit harder. And make sure first time that it's all very straight again. So the second time we can pull it a little bit harder. And then we're going to tighten the sides with again twill tape, and we need about 4 meters of twill tape per side. And you can see the overview of the frame. The left side I've already tightened, and I'm starting with the right side now. We'll just lay the twill tape line down like this, and we pin the twill tape down. And we pin the twill tape down twice, so it's attached 4 times per twill side, and it's you don't pull the fabric. You have a smaller chance to rip the fabric like this. So we we go under the frame and come back up. And we pin the twill tape down twice again, so 4 little holes. And because we came back up, we're going to come back up, because if should you go under again, you'll get ripples and it won't be straight. And we want it very tight in this straight way, then it's going to be very tight. So we go back up and come back under and pin it down again, and now we came back under, so we go back under. So pin it down twice, 4 little holes, so we go back under again. And you can see if you've done it the right way, you will get little V's in your twill tape. So we go back under and come back up, pin it down. And you can pull the twill tape a little bit to fasten, tighten the fabric. Don't have to pull very hard, but just a little bit to tighten it nicely. Now your fabric is nice and tight and ready to get embroidered.